DJ will be able to tell you because he's got good examples.
Yeah, so, and again, all my understandings, and I'm only early into this, I think maybe 6 years I've been educating myself and whilst also pushing boundaries. In native title, I think there's only one good thing about native title, and that's the recognition that this was our country before. I think that's it. Other than that, I don't believe personally that native title is even the bare minimum. We can hunt, fish, like hunting, camping, or be buried on our country. I think that's about it. That's the only thing. John Citizen can go on camp at parks as well, I believe, but like native title, you've got to move your camp every 21 days. So it's sort of like, what has native title given us in regards to being able to really care and live as best as we can those old ways. The Western structure is still very much present. The hierarchy is still very much present. Any state or crown land, you still have to enter an ILUA with them, an exclusive land use agreement. So you still have to go to their square table, which Honey did one will talk about later, we refer to as a square table, and sit down with them and come to an agreement. So you're still coming to an agreement to whatever it is, whatever your proposal is to do on your own country. Unless you are willing to, like our ancestors have done, fight and try and push these boundaries further. Not all of us were aware of the native title process and it coming about. I didn't find out until after the fact. So I personally, or my mother never really got a say in it. It's happened, and along the ways through pushing these boundaries in regards to caring for country, exploring country, and rewalking my ancestors' footsteps, I'm sort of learning and pushing the boundaries of native title, and it really does seem that we were freer prior to having native title than what we are now with native title. So, and again, this isn't through reading the determination, because it's a big thick booklet. Within laws, it's all Western law in their own Western structure. So you're still basically asking for permission to sit at a square table and have rights to your country that they're willing to offer, rather than us being the ones saying, we'd like to do this, we want to do that. We're still asking for permission to do stuff in our own country. So for me, after realising some of them boundaries and realising that we've probably lost a lot more by having native title, I actually asked a few of my elders to give the determination back. I'm not sure that's ever been done. They asked me why, and I said, well, what have we got? We've got 12 exclusive lots, which I think maybe 9 of them are mountain goat country. You literally need a caravan and a harness to even explore them. And the other ones, the 3 or 4 blocks that are somewhat useful that are flat enough to put a campsite on, you still have to, get your building permits and all that sort of stuff. That you still have to participate in the Western structure, unless you just want to have a tent there, which I was happy to do. But that then asks you have to go and put a proposal through to the native title body. So you've got your board of elders. So there's that hierarchy, pyramid, Western structure you've got to go participate in. And basically your senior elders, in an unwillingly way, because they didn't ask for it, but to gain native title, this is the process and that's what you get. You have to put forward a proposal. It's sort of like they're the real estate agent. of your own country that you're meant to have equal shared rights in, but you have to put a proposal in with what you want to do on that block. So as a sovereign man, it's a bit of a kick in the guts, because everyone in that room at our round table has shared equal rights in this, but because of the structure that it all sits within, it turns it into a bit of a square, and you've got to jump through all these hoops, and in the end, you just walk away with it with nothing, because it's just too much of a headache, and that's what native title does. It pits us against each other.
Yeah, big time.
And you know, being a Uniborough and a Cubby man, I went on a camp with Cubby mob as a culture man to share with these young fellas that are growing up, and it was the best native title, best example of what native title does. I was standing in the middle of Old Gympie Road, and I was on the white line, and I went, look, this is what it does, because our boundaries, they cross over, they overlap. That's why we have war cries, and you're singing out to ask for permission, and you've got all these kilometres in between. And so for determination for ours, my great-great-grandfather Guy Willie Mackenzie, they said, if you have to draw a line, Willie, where's the boundary? And he ran it up the railway line. And then, like Dinawan said earlier, you go sit down at a big square table, and there's back and forth, and they brought it into Old Gympie Road. And so I was down on Old Gympie Road, and I said, look, I went, Uniborough, Cubby, Uniborough. And I said, look, like Queensland, New South Wales. I stood on both of them. And I won't mention his name, but one fella piped up and he went, no, your land starts over there. And he took that extra lane. And I went, listen here, you young fellas, you see what just happened? That's what native title does to us. I said, I'm a Uniborough and a Cubby man. I've got no reason to claim an extra lane. That's my grandfather's country. I said, this is what native title does to us. For an extra 2 metres. I was just, but it was the perfect example to show them young fellas, the more I learn and understand and walk country, I think the more that native title, we should give it back. And they said, well, giving that back, what's it going to achieve? I said, well, they can't take back. They acknowledge that it was ours. They can't unacknowledge it. They can't undetermine that we had enough proof to show them that we were here first and this was our responsibility. I said, so you push that piece of paper back? He said, thanks, but no thanks, because that system doesn't work with ours.